call it the house of wickedness. We be doing anything with our day, right? But the Most High put in our spirit to come together in unity, right? And build up a school of understanding that Israel may learn, whether they be from Detroit or far off, wherever. We don't really give a damn, right?
You got it. Come on, brother. Trying to be Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. All praises to Yahweh Bashim. Right, this is a beautiful thing in the sight of the Lord. Seeing brothers come together in unity, right? Not gather together in wickedness like Jake doing in the world, gang banging, GDs, BDs, Bloods, and Crips. No, we coming back to our nationality, which are the Hebrew Israelites. Bring this out, man.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
What the Lord say?
Gather yourselves together.
So right now we gathering ourselves together. Read on.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
And we the nation that's not desired. Every nation on this planet Earth hates the Israelites. They tell you that in Psalms the 83rd chapter. Right? They set up crafty councils, different schemes and agendas to overthrow our people. Read on.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you.
Right? And the fierce anger of the Lord is coming upon this earth. You see what's going on in Europe, China, South Africa. All hell is breaking loose over this world, man. So we got to see why it may be found and gather together in righteousness. Read on.
Before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you, seek ye Yahweh, all ye meat of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger.
Right, and we seeking to be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, man. That's why we keeping these commandments. That's why we gathering together our faith, right, and coming together in unity, man. Right, so all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man.
I got a quick precept. Romans 12 and 10. Right? Just to add there on too, man. Like, this is a beautiful thing, man. Right? It's a beautiful thing to see all these brothers coming out from all over the country, man. Right? All over this wicked nation to come into one place to get some understanding, man. That's right. Go together in unity. Bring that out.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another.
Right, and that's the law. Like the brother who brought out the 10 Commandments. You gotta love your neighbor, right, Rich?
With brotherly love.
What?
With brotherly love.
With brotherly love, man. And this is brotherly love right here. Let that brotherly love continue, man, right, Rich?
In honor, preferring one another.
So we have to prefer one another in this thing, man. I love all y'all brothers, man. And the Akwaf and the children, I love everybody. That's the nation of Israel, man. This is beautiful, man. It's kind of like an overwhelming feeling seeing all these brothers coming out for us, man. It's beautiful, man. Water for that, man. Love y'all brothers, man.
That's right.
You bring up Psalms 118 and 22. Right now, Israel got to remember, we're not the first people to do this, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Before you get that, you get Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, right? There's nothing new under the sun, right? We're moving in the same spirit as our forefathers, so at least we're trying to, right? Through the power of Yahweh Shemel, right? We have a blueprint on how to do these things, which is all recorded in the scriptures. You got it.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun, right? Meaning in times past, you had houses of understanding, you had churches, right? You read about it in Revelation, all throughout the gospel, right? We had a church to teach the young and the women and men and children, right? Like, it was Psalms 118 and 22.
The book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 22. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner.
Does anybody know who that headstone is? That cornerstone? Right, it's Yahweh, right? He's the chief cornerstone. So none of this would be possible, if he had not been a chief cornerstone. Right? Go ahead.
This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes.
It's marvelous. It's beautiful. Right? Again, none of these things would be possible, if Yahweh didn't do what he did. Go ahead.
This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
And guess what? We rejoice. This is a beautiful thing. Right? We love seeing the brothers in unity. We can't stress that enough. We're going to keep saying it. All right? We're going to sound like a broken record. Because right? In the world, we used to being wicked and doing, Negro stuff. But when we come together, right, we see brothers smile, we see brothers with fringes on, we see brothers turning their lives around.
That's right.
Whenever Jake come together in the world, it's a fight. Somebody end up getting shot, right? All hell break loose, man. But the fact that we could come together and there's no fights, there's no bickering, there's no strife, no contention, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's the doings of the Lord, right?
That's right. You go ahead. I wanted to get this precept. Get 1 Peter 2:9. 1 Peter 2 and verse 9.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a
Starting at verse 4.
Verse 4.
All right.
To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High and precious.
Right, that's going into Yahweh Shah. That's a perfect link up with that precept the brothers brought out, right?
Ye also as lively stones.
What you say?
Ye also as lively stones.
Right, so when it's going into building the church, it's not always physical, right? In fact, let me get this quick precept. Right. Real quick, look at Job, chapter 11, and verse 6. Right, it says, and he that would shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that God exalted of thee, lest in thine iniquity deserve. So everything is double according to the scriptures. Right? So it's a physical, actual church. Right? But we're the church. Right? Because that's why he called us the lively stones, and Yahweh Shah said chief cornerstone. Right? Keep reading that.
Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house.
Built up a spiritual house, right?
In holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices.
Right, that's the order of Melchizedek that we're under, man. This is a sacrifice that we're not actually, kind of cutting up the lamb or anything like that, but this is our spiritual sacrifice that we land upon the altar of the Lord, man. Right, doing His work, laboring, man. Our prayers, our contrite spirit, those are all the sacrifices of Melchizedek's priesthood. Right, so that's pretty much it on that. You get it more on that?
Yeah.
I keep reading.
Acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
You see that? So yeah, that's it on that.
Look at Ecclesiastes 3 and 5.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 5. A time to cast away stones,
Right.
and a time to gather stones together.
Right now, we're in the time of gathering stones. Right, that's when we go out there in the highways and byways, pulling the fish, pulling the lively stones. Again, all of this done, and maybe how about Yahweh Shai? With Hosea 6 and 1. I got a precept on that. Yeah, well, I'll just bring it out. Like in the book of Sirach, chapter 22 and 1, because it's a time to cast stones away and gather stones. It says, a slothful man is compared to a filthy stone, and every one will hiss him out of his, out to his disgrace. So a man can be compared to an actual filthy stone in this thing, man. All right, you see that? Continue on.
That's right. And the Lord not dealing with filthy stones.
Right.
The Lord has no need for a filthy stone.
Right.
All right? Now, that's not talking about your garment is dirty, you got mustard stains, honey bun stains, Kool-Aid stains. It's talking about like your mind, right? The Lord don't have time for a filthy stone, a wicked Israelite that's thinking lewd thoughts all the time and, moving in a way that's not righteous. You got it.
The book of Hosea, chapter 6 and verse 1. Come and turn unto the Most High, for He hath torn, and He will heal us. He hath smitten, and He will bind us up. After 2 days will He revive us, and the third day He will raise us up, and we shall live in His sight.
So the these lively stones are slowly but surely coming together, right? Fitting cheaply, beautifully together. This building that's being built right now is not done yet. If it was, we'd be in the kingdom. So the Lord's still putting together these lively stones, right? And it all fits perfect, right? The Lord's not putting a stone and one stone don't fit and you gotta force it in. All these stones are gonna fit in perfect, right? In other words, Israel, you know how to build this up, right?
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 3 and verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod far and without a tire. And that's talking about us, man, because we lost our nationality, right? We didn't know who we were. We didn't know the requirements that the Lord required of us, right? We thought we was just niggas, spicks, right? Gangsters in the hood, right? So we abode many days without an image. Verse 5, afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. And that's what's happening right now, right? The Lord is putting the spirit of wisdom back on the nation of Israel, and we're returning back into our God. Brothers is raising up mighty men, priests, kings unto the Lord, as it states in Exodus chapter 19 and verse 6. Right? We was niggas, man. We was committing adultery, right? Sleeping woman to woman, right? Doing all kind of abominable things, man. But the Lord raised us back up. And that's wisdom, right? Gave us the spirit of wisdom. He put this oil back on the nation. You got it?
And I want to mention another point on the filthy stone. You get it? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31. Right? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 31. And it reads, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
So if you have any of those attributes, right, you're a filthy stone. Right? If you Proverbs 6 and 16 on down, you're a filthy stone. Right? That goes to list the things that the Lord hates. Right? If you fit one of those things, you're a filthy stone, and the Lord's not, going to put you properly with the rest of the building. All right, He's going to, take you out and pluck you out. All right, and even in the ancient world, right, when you had a house and that house was plagued with something, He pulled out the bricks and He cast it without. So that's what the Lord's going to do with these filthy stones. He's going to cast you without. You're not going to be in the kingdom.
Precept it up. 1 Corinthians 3 and start at 12. 1 Corinthians 3, verse 12.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, and verse 12.
All right.
Now, if any man build upon this foundation.
Right, the foundation. Let's start at 11. Because again, the foundation is Yahweh Shah. Start at 11.
Verse 11.
All right.
For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid.
Right, because nobody compares to Yahweh Shah. He's the Son of God, huh? Right, Reed?
Which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Right, that's the foundation, right, Reed?
Now, if any man build upon this foundation,
Build upon the foundation of the Socket of Christ, Reed.
Gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, and stubble.
Right, so you can build silver, gold, wood, hay, stubble. Right, it's up to you what you're going to put in, man. You're going to put in a cracked brick, man. You're going to be a filthy stone, or you're going to put in some gold on the temple. Hey, Solomon's temple was all gold, man. Right? So you can't put hay in it. That's going to burn down easily, man. Right? And that's what you are when you're a filthy stone. You're putting hay into the Lord's building, right, Reed?
Every man's work shall be made manifest.
Right, your work is going to be made manifest. Right? That's how you know what you're building upon the temple, right, Reed?
For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire.
By fire, man. And you can't just melt, gold with this, man. You probably start a fire with hay with this, man. Right, Reed?
And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
Right, Reed?
If any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward.
Right, you see that? So you're going to be rewarded for the work that you put into the temple, man. So if you want to, kind of put stuff, it literally says stubble. That's nothing. You just put nothing in the temple, man. You ain't doing no work. You're just being a keyboard, like a couch potato, right? Scoffing camps all damn day. Hey, man, you ain't gonna make it, man. You putting hate in the damn building, right? Salakia. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16. Shah. Right, the brother bringing out some good points, man. You get what you put in, man. Right? So you got to put in those bricks, man. You got to build upon your Yahweh Shah's foundation. Right? By going out there, laboring on the highways and byways, making your body a living sacrifice, getting your household in order, keeping the commandments, being genuine in the sight of the Lord. Give me Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6,
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
Right? When you building up a house or when you building anything, you can't be lazy and slothful. Right? So you got to go to the ant, thou sluggard. Right? Ants are one of the hardest working insects that the Lord has created. Read on.
Consider her ways and be wise.
You got to be wise in this thing. What's being wise? Building up your house in righteousness, right? Keeping the commandments, putting away the pork, the crab, the shrimp,
That's right.
putting away the malice and the gall and the hatred that you got towards your brother, right? Coming out of the damn festivities of the white man, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. That's wise when you walk in the commandments of the Lord. Read on.
Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest.
Right? So brothers not gonna be standing over you, telling you, hey brother, come out to the highways and byways, brother. Come do the work. Brothers can't do that all the time, man. You gotta walk independent in this thing, in righteousness.
That's right.
Right? You gotta be willfully going out there on the highways and byways because you want to do it. You want to build up your nation. Right? You want to edify the body of Israel. Read on.
How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
That's pretty much it on that. How long would you sleep, man? Right? How long would you just lodge on the couch, not doing the work of the Lord? Like the brother said, being a keyboard warrior. Man, you got to get up and put in work, man. Right? Help build up this spiritual temple. Right, you got it.
That's right. You can get it. Job chapter 12, verse 7. Job chapter 12, verse 7. Right, now the brother brought out in Proverbs 6 chapter. It goes to the end of sluggard, right? And consider his what are her ways. You bring it out.
It's the book of Job, chapter 12, and verse 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall teach thee.
Right, now when you go out into nature and you observe animals, you shouldn't be looking at them just to look at them and kind of watch them eat. You have to really critique them and analyze them, right? Understand their behavior, right? Even the nations do that to an extent, right? We have something called biomimicry, right? Where Esau, the way that they create these certain machines and types of instruments or tools of building, they watch these animals. They understand how they move and how they operate, right? So how much more us being in the truth can learn a hell of a lot by understanding and seeing how these animals move. For example, you see the ant, right? And Jeremiah tells us about the leopard, never changes spots, right? Loosely paraphrasing. Now you can go to Sirach 35 and 4 about the chart. Go more. Sirach 35 and 4. Now when you consider the ant and watch how it moves, does it come back to the base with nothing in its hand? No, it's gonna come back with something. If it come back empty, let's believe that ant's gonna get frowned upon. Right? They might mark that ant. You got it.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 35, and verse 4. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord.
See that? So we have to do work. We have to do our due diligence and bring something back to the Lord. Right? The wisdom that He bestowed and gave it to us is not ours. Right? Like it says in Songs of Solomon, we got to give it back to Him. Right? We can't come empty before the Lord. Likewise, the ant can't come empty before the base and their queen. You got it.
I got a precept. Yes, Sirach 7 and 31. Look at Sirach chapter 7 and verse 31.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 7, and verse 31.
Right?
Fear Yahweh and honor the priest.
Like honor the priest. And again, we're under the priesthood of Melchizedek. Right, Rick?
And give him his portion.
Like give him his portion. Now, do we offer sacrifices, actual physical sacrifices? No. Right? We got to offer those spiritual sacrifices. You can't come empty-handed, man. Right, Rick?
As it is commanded
As
thee.
it is commanded, man. You're commanded to give sacrifices to the Lord, right? You can't come empty-handed in this thing, man. Right? You have to put in your brick, man. Right? If you're not doing no work, man, you finished out here, man. Right, Rick?
The first fruits, and the trespass offering, and the gift of the shoulders, and the sacrifice of sanctification, and the first fruits of the holy things.
That's going into the prior priesthood. We was under the Levitical priesthood, but now that we building the spiritual temple, right? These sacrifices going to praying, fasting, reading, studying, putting in the work, edifying the nation, right? That's what these sacrifices represent today under the new priesthood. Right, that's it on that.
We got a precept. Luke chapter 19, verse 13. Bring that up, man.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 19, and verse 13.
Bring it out.
It reads this. And he called his 10 servants,
Right, and then he is Yahweh. Read on.
and delivered them 10 pounds.
Meaning the Lord gave us the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding, Right, read on.
and said unto them, Occupy till I
Do
come.
what?
Occupy till I come.
You gotta occupy till the Lord come. You should not be idle in His truth. There's always something to do, man. Right? There's always something to read. Right? Always a video to watch. Right? You should be asking yourself, what am I doing to benefit the nation and to benefit the ministry? Read on.
But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, We will not have this man to reign over us.
Read on.
And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money.
Right? So the Lord gave us the money. He gave us the understanding, the wisdom, the knowledge. Right? If you in this room right now, you was blessed by the Lord to have the understanding of who you are and knowing what commandments you have to keep as a righteous vessel on this earth. Read on.
That he might know how much every man had gained by trading.
Right? You got to gain by trading, man. You got to go out there in them highways and byways and wake as many Israelites as you can up through the spirit and power of Yahweh. Right? Read on.
And he said unto him, then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 10 pounds.
Right?
And he said unto him, Wilt thou, good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, have thou authority over 10 cities.
You see that, man? So we got to be faithful over a little, man. We got to be faithful in waking our people up. We got to be faithful in keeping the commandments, building up this nation, building up this spiritual house, right? So we can gain the kingdom of heaven, man. And the Lord give us authority over 10 cities. And that's what we all want, man. We want the heathens under subjection. We want our nation back in order. We want the kingdom of heaven, man. Right? That's pretty much it, man.
You can get Philippians 2 and 12.
It's the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence.
Salakia, real quick. So we don't have Paul over our back, man. We don't have Yahweh constantly. Well, we know that he's watching all, but not in the flesh. Right? He's not over your shoulder every second of the day. Right? So when Jake understands that, they feel a little more, relaxed. Lackadaisical, you sluggish. It's like that at work sometimes. When the boss not watching, you drag your feet, you start dragging your feet, right? You're doing your own thing, right? But you have to keep in mind that how much Yahweh is always watching you. Therefore, hey, you got to do work. You got to always be moving. You always got to have that be a step, And when you think you're at work and nobody's watching you, somebody's watching you. That's why the scriptures say, do nothing before an angel. Don't be, moving in an odd, weird way. Because somebody's literally always watching you. Don't think nobody's ever not watching you.
That's right.
All right, precept, Revelation 11 and 1.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod.
That's basically like a measuring stick. It says a yardstick for, to make it simple. Right?
And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High.
Right, the temple of the Most High. Now, is this a physical temple that he's measuring? Again, we're talking about a spiritual temple. But you are the temple of the Lord. Let me get this quick precept. All right, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. It says, Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. So you're the actual temple of the Lord. So that measuring the temple is going into what work are you putting in, man? Measure the temple, right? Read.
And the altar and them that worship therein.
Right, read.
But the work which is without the temple leave out.
Right, leave out, man. You're going to get left in this thing, man. Right, Yahweh Shai going to say, I never knew you, man. Because you want to put in work. You put hay on my damn golden palace, man. You was a filthy stone. He'll cast you out, man. Right? You trying to build in a house and you got cracked glass. You ain't going to use that, man. Right, read.
And measure it not.
Right, and measure it not. You're not going to be measured with the temple of God if you're not putting in this work, man. So brothers got to build this temple up, man. It's not always having to be on always and byways. Every man not apt to teach. But you can hold posts out there. You can bring waters, man. You can come to the school, take notes, kind of teach your family so you can raise up a mighty son. He might be the next mighty man that go out there and teach. You never know, man. But if you just idle all day, man, you're not going to make it. So this is what this whole lesson is about, building the church. We all have to put in our brick. All right? So,
We go to Philippians 2 and 17. It's like it's 16. Philippians 2 and 16.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 16, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Hamashiach,
Right?
that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain.
Right, Paul told us a couple of times, your work is not in vain. You know, don't think you out there in 80-degree weather for nothing. Now you start thinking, I don't know, it's kind of hot today. Is this really worth it? I don't see nobody out. I might as well go back home. Right? Don't think like that. That's a weak mentality. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if I be offered upon the sacrifice and service of your faith, I rejoice and rejoice with you all.
That's why you say you gotta make your body a living sacrifice. When it comes to building up an actual school, and on a spiritual level, building up Israel.
Right.
You have to make your body a living sacrifice, whether you be fishing, and you gotta go chase down that brother. Right? Chase him down. Right? You know, hey, you building up the school, you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this thing. You know, on the highways and byways, you know, you're dealing with somebody kind of bulking up. You know, you gotta still be forbearing sometimes. You know, lo and behold, the result is they hearken. You know, so it takes a lot into building up things. You know,
A precept. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Just to let me back over the precept. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. So again, it's always something you can be doing for the ministry, right? Right? Whether it's teaching, doing videos, right? Whether it's passing out flyers, right? Whether it's holding posts, so on and so forth. There's always something you can be doing for the work of the ministry. It's always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So you're going to be rewarded for all these things that you have done for the Most High, right? So we're seeking to be rewarded in these last days, right? Chiefly in the kingdom of heaven. You got it.
and don't think you off the clock because you're not at camp or, you know, in the building. Right? You're still on the clock even at home. The Lord's watching you. The Lord didn't tell the angels, all right, take 5, you know, be at home and chilling. Look, the Lord's still going to watch you in your crib, right? And He's going to watch you to see if you're studying, if you're reading, perhaps watching videos, you know, working on yourself, you know. You can get Proverbs 27 and 19. Let's see.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 19. As in water, face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man.
Right, so the Most High is also going to see if you self-reflecting and self-examining yourself. The same way you look at the water, you see yourself. And you still got to, on another level, on a spiritual level, you got to examine your heart. Right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? That also counts as doing the work and building up. Right? Building up Israel. Because you yourself is still alive yourself. You got to make sure. Yeah, you got to make sure you don't got no filthiness on you. All right? You have to make sure you're being that lively stone. You know, because it's easy for a stone to get dirty. You know? It's easy for your shoes to get dirty. You got to kind of keep cleaning them. You got to keep cleaning them, washing them. You know? You take care of your clothes, why not take care of your spirit and your mind?
I appreciate it. The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 3. All right? Matthew 7, verse 3. Just to line me back off what the brother brought out. Like, you got to be a lively stone yourself, huh? Or you can't be a hypocrite in this thing, huh? No.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 3. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye?
While you're looking at a big old gigantic needle in your brother's eye, right?
But considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye.
Right, so how can you tell somebody, hey brother, you got something on your face and you got something on your face, right? So you can't do that, right? So you can't be a damn adulterer out there telling people, hey, you can't commit adultery. You smoking weed behind the scenes, but you're like, hey, you kind of gotta put the blunt down, brother. But you high as hell, huh? And it's going off. Right, so you gotta remove that beam out of your own eye, huh? So you can't be that lively stone as an example with a fly.
Precept, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 8. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ornament. And white represents righteousness, man. right? So you always got to be walking in the spirit of righteousness, right? Behind the scenes, right? In the midst of a crowd, you should be walking as that example, right? So it's like you can't let your head like no ointment, man. And the ointment represents the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, right? So you always got to be on point. You got to be sharp in the truth.
Right, this book of Romans chapter 2 and verse 1 says, therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judges, for in Romans 2 and 1. It says, therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judges, for wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself, for thou that judgest doest the same things. Right, so you can't, again, that's just another precept of landing back. You can't be judging somebody if you're doing the exact same thing you're judging them for. Right? That's just going to hell off. Right? That's it.
You can get Acts chapter 15, verse 37. This is an example of who not to be, what not to do. All right.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 15 and verse 37. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark, but Paul thought not good to take him with them.
Right, he thought that for a reason. Paul wasn't wigging and just assuming, right, judging off his appearance, right? He knew the man. He knew his works. He knew how he was operating in the spirit. Go ahead.
Who departed from them from Pamphylia,
Go ahead.
and went not with them to the work.
See, he didn't go with him to the work. You don't want to work with somebody that's not working.
Right.
You know, brothers got jobs, and you know how it is working with that one brother that want to lift up his feet. It slow down the whole workplace. It gets you irritated. The whole vibe off. You know, it adds spirits. You got it.
Yeah, brothers be kind of looking at you work, man, saying you missed something. Oh, you should have did it like this, right? Nobody want to be around a brother like that. You always kind of sitting down, right?
Like that.
Yeah, that's off, man.
What if you doing it wrong? Brother, you're not doing nothing. You gonna tell me you're not doing nothing?
Like, and that's the point I want to make. People, you know, they be scoffing in the comment boards, and people like, hey, where your videos at? Where you teach at? It's like, if I was, hey, y'all brothers got to kind of do like this, but you ain't teaching, brother. What are you talking about? Like, if brothers know about the incident in Orlando with the brother Naquan, people was scoffing, saying, hey, you got to kind of use wisdom. You don't even teach, bro. You don't know how it is out there, man. Right. What are you talking about, man? That's going the hell off.
We see that a lot. People say, oh, I think you should teach like this. What are you talking about? You've never even heard about, Deuteronomy 28. So we got to teach like this. You gonna tell us? You got it. Oh, okay. What was it gonna get? Oh, get Sirach 33 and 17.
Get out. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 17. Consider that I labored not for myself.
So we're not working only on, we do it because, Philippians 2 and 12, we got to make our body look and sacrifice, but ultimately, we doing this for the Lord and for Israel, right? Go ahead.
I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
Exactly, we have to make ourselves an example, right? There's a lot of our brothers, they lost out here. They think it's okay to sag, it's okay to, do fruity things and move in a weirdo spirit. They don't know any better. So that's why even when we out there in the highways and byways, we have to be an example unto everyone, right? Unto our people, really. If we sagging out there, Jake gonna think it's okay to sag. They want to pull their pants down lower and say, okay, it's cool. So we have to make ourselves, it's like we have to be examples to those who don't know.
Right.
Precept. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 13. So let me back off. We're not doing this for ourselves, man.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 13.
Right.
I learned diligently.
What do you say?
I learned diligently.
You learn diligently, man. Right? You got to kind of study, get in this thing, man. Get the precepts, link it up, watch the videos. Like, that's a good precept. Write it down, flat, whatever you got to do. Learn diligently, really.
And do communicate her liberally.
Like, that her is talking about wisdom. We're communicating wisdom liberally. We don't got the collection plate kind of going around right now, or we ain't stopping you at the door kind of like, hey, brother, where your money at? $5 to enter. Like, we're not doing that, man. So we're communicating. It's like we're communicating wisdom freely, right?
I do not hide her riches.
Right, you can't hide her riches, man. So we not, keeping this wisdom to ourselves, man, kind of in the corner with it, right? You got to spread it openly, man. Whatever you learn, bring it to the table. You're not selling lessons, man. Right?
So that precept. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 19. It say, again, think ye that we excuse ourselves unto you? We speak before God and Hamashiach, for we do all things, dearly beloved, for your edifying. So everything we do is for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Every video, every sit down, every lesson, right? Every counsel is to edify and build up the church, man. Right? And the church is the people. The church are the Israelites, right? On the spiritual level. Right?
You get that's like in Colossians chapter 1, verse 10.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 1, and verse 10. That ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of the Most High.
Right. So you got to walk worthy in this thing and increase in the knowledge of the Lord, not only for yourself, but all those that seek knowledge and understanding. You can bring out Ephesians 4:1.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, and verse 1. I, therefore, the prisoner of Yahweh, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
All right, your vocation is your calling, something that you was destined to do. All right, the Lord predestined all of us to be here. The Lord predestined brothers to, know a whole lot of history. But this brother knows a whole lot of languages, different offices. But this brother know how to, do X, Y, and Z. All right, so everybody has a certain lot. Right, but nonetheless, we all make up that spiritual building. Right. With that being said, you got to make sure you're making your election assured. Right, and that you're exercising whatever gift that the Lord gave you. You walk worthy of your vocation. All right.
Yeah. Keep going.
With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love.
Yeah, long suffering and forbearing one another in love. Right? You gotta be humble in this thing as well. Can't be that guy, I know all the Rashwakadash. Quiz me, brother. You just being a jerk. Brother, do lessons. You don't gotta be that guy, just boasting in knowledge. You forgot who gave you that knowledge, the Lord. That's why you have to be humble about it. It's as easy as it was for him to give it to you, it's easy that he can take it away from you just like that. You got it.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
See that? So we gotta be peaceful among all men, like say in Romans 12:18. Right? Brothers shouldn't have the evil eye. Brothers shouldn't look at brother up and down all funny. You gotta know how to hold a grudge. You gotta be respectful and know how to speak to everybody in a well-mannered way. And again, you don't know who you're talking to on earth. This brother might be David, or he might be Nehemiah, he might be Ezra. You're going to be held accountable by every word you say. The Lord said, well, why did you speak to my chosen like that? So you got to be careful how you speak to people. You got it.
There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in all.
Go ahead,
Verse 10 on that.
Verse 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens.
Talking about Hamashiach Yahushua, right? When he was taken up into the heavens to sit on the right hand of the Father. Read on.
That he might fill all things.
Right? And Hamashiach Yahushua fills all things. It tells you that in Colossians chapter 1 verse 15. In him all things consist. Read on.
And he gave some apostles and some prophets.
So these are the different offices of men. Some brothers are set up to be prophets. Some brothers are apostles. Read on.
And some evangelists.
Read on.
And some pastors and teachers.
You see that? So it's different offices in this thing. Right? You can't just be one-sided. The Most High got different offices. So certain brothers are good at just recording. Certain brothers are good at fishing, bringing fruit back into the Lord. Right? So it's different offices. Read on.
For the perfecting of the saints.
For the perfecting of the saints. Read on.
For the work of the
So
ministry.
this is all for the work of the ministry. Read on.
For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach.
Right? So we one body, man. Right? You got the head, you got the arms, you got the toes. It's different functions to a body. It's not just one thing. Right? So we all work together for the edifying of the body of Yahushua. Right? And we work together as a team and as a unit, man. You got it, brother.
Give me the book of 1 Corinthians 12 and verse 4. So let me back what the brother was bringing up. Right, going into the different, gifts and offices.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 4. Now, there are diversities of gifts.
Right, diversities of gifts, right?
But the same Spirit.
The same Spirit, and we all coming in the Spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua, right?
And there are differences of the administration, but the same Lord.
Right?
And there are diversities of operations, but it's the same God which worketh in all.
Right, you see that? So it's all for the ministry. It's all to help build the temple at the end of the day. That's what it's going into, man. Right, so it doesn't matter what your office is, execute that office and do it with all your might, man. Right? If you describe, if that's your office, then you got to go crazy up here and describe, man. Right? If you might have prophesy and teach it, you got to go crazy teaching, man. Right? If you recorder, hey, man, you got to kind of, do your thing with the recording. Get the angles, do whatever you got to do, cut up the video, whatever the case may be, whatever your office is, you got to do it with all your might, man. Because it's all for the foundation of the Lord.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. So right here, right now, when you living, whatever you doing, you got to do it with your might. Right? Jake go all out in his wickedness, man. He be in the studio 24 hours a day, kind of diving to that beat, right? Smoking that blunt, getting in the zone. You got to get in the zone in his truth, man. Right? Praying, fasting, studying, congregating among your brothers, doing sit-down lessons. You got to do it with your might and your strength, man, to the best of your ability.
Now, Michael Jordan had a documentary. Now, what was that documentary?
The
Last Dance. If you've seen that documentary, he's not playing no games. The way he was moving, and he had his program, how you doing this, that, and the third. That's how we got to be in this truth. You can get 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1.
They say Michael Jordan was kind of strict too, man. He was kind of telling people what to do, right? Kind of, Now, we ain't saying be like that, man, but you got to be zealous for the word of the Lord, man. Right? Brothers showing up in camp late, you got to get on them in righteousness. If brothers having side conversations, right, disturbing the lessons, you got to get on brothers, man. You got to keep everything easily in order. We got to hold each other accountable, man. The rebuke is better than secret love. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 5. You got it, brother.
Hey, I got a precept going off of Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2.
Well, for the recording's sake, we got to talk in the mic. So what's the precept? We haven't read
2 Timothy 2 and 5.
2 Timothy 2 and 5 for the king.
Slaughter.
But it's bringing the precepts up, right? This is right.
It's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 5.
Chapter 2 and 5.
Chapter 2 and verse 5. It's like, and if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things.
That's it.
That's right. See that? You can bring out 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6 and verse 1. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elijah, Behold, now the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make place there. So I can make us a place there where we may dwell.
Even the forefathers had a place to dwell in, and guess what they was doing in there? It wasn't playing rock, paper, scissors. It wasn't playing tag. It was teaching. You got it.
So
And it was learning the word and it was teaching each other. That's the point. You got it.
And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy saints. And he answered, I will go.
That's it. Yeah. But with that concludes the lesson of building up the church. All right. Give all claps and praises to Yahweh. I'm gonna ask the next lesson. I'll let my mighty brother Vanguard and Aquam.
Let's stop it. All right. Start the live stream. Yeah, all praise to the Most High, man. I just want to say, here we go. Let's do the second one. I just wanted to say again, man, the water for brothers for coming out, man. That was mighty. You know what I'm saying? We got classes. If you're in Detroit, we got classes every Saturday. Doors gonna open at 11. We're gonna have 2 classes a week. All right. Just come on out and get some education. All right. Come
We're going to pick right back up where the brothers left off, man. We're going to pick right back up where the brothers left off. Going into building the nation of Israel, man. Building the temple of the Lord. Building in your bricks. Putting your brick in and establishing the nation, man. We got a lot of work to do in the last days, man. We got people to wake up. We got nations to prophesy against. We got to magnify the name of the Lord. And you cannot be a brother that is lukewarm. I want to get that verse of Revelation 3 and 15. Right, let's get that. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15, man.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse number 15.
Bring it out.
I know thy works.
The Lord saying,
I know thy works.
You don't know what's going on.
I know thy works.
And the Lord is watching you, man. Yahweh just went into it, man. Right, when you're in your closet, when you sneaking around, when it's 3 in the morning, you turn all the lights off. Guess what? The eyes of the Lord are what? 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Beholding all the ways of men and considering their most secret parts. That's Sirach 23 and 19. So the Lord knows how much time you put in studying, how much time you put in laboring, how many hours you're taking off from reading. All that stuff is being calculated, man. Like even Yahweh went into that Esau, record your at the so-called job, they have something called time off task. And it records your time when you're not doing your job, your damn job, man. And then you kind of think you're slacking around, and next thing you know, your manager put you up and you had 3 minutes when you wasn't doing your job. What's going on? And the Lord does that, man. He records all of your time that's not on task. When you binge watching Netflix, when you caking up with your woman all day, when you at the damn gym all day, man, the Lord is recording all of your time off task. So read on, King.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
I will do what?
I will spew thee out of my mouth.
And either you in this thing or you out this thing, right? It ain't no half-stepping with the Lord, man. Yeah, I want to be an Israelite on the Sabbath day. Friday night, you get your old garment out, you shake the dust off of it, you iron in your garment when Friday night comes in, you put on your boots, then as soon as the sun goes down on Saturday, you put on your big white tee, like it's 2002, you sag in your pants, you put your scully on, and the damn blunt in there, man. Right? The Lord not dealing with that, man.
That's right.
You got to be a wholehearted Israelite and soldier for the Lord 24/7, man.
That's right.
Even in the military, if you're in the military and you got active duty and you walking around with your damn military there's a uniform on, you're still expected to do what? Operate as if you are active duty. Operate as if you're on the clock, man. Likewise with the Lord, man. So either you're on fire or you're not on fire. You can't say, well, Wednesday I was on fire. I was on fire my first 2 years, but now I would take 2 years off. You got brothers in this thing saying you can be in the truth for 7 years and then you get a truth Sabbath. You got the land Sabbath, you got the weekly Sabbath. I'm on my truth Sabbath. I've been in 7 years, this year I'm off. I got to rest. Where's that at in the Bible, man? When you in this thing for 7 years and you get rest. Right? You got madness. You gonna bring out Matthew 11 and 28? Like the brothers going into, man. Brothers gotta be on fire, man. Right. Brothers gotta want to travel the whole damn earth preaching this gospel, man. And every single city, every province shaking their hand, man. Bring it on, King.
Come on. St. Matthew, chapter 11 and verse number 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor.
What the Lord say?
All ye that labor.
Hey, the Lord looking for the laborers, you understand? The Lord said, come unto me, all ye that labor. Read.
And are heavy laden.
Our brother's heavy laden. You gotta ask yourself that, man. Do I got a lot on my plate, or am I just going home after work, reading one chapter and relaxing with my damn bread? Watching TV, watch one video, right? Read one chapter, and then go to sleep, man. Brothers gotta be heavy laden in this thing, man. Long hours of counsel. Hey, brothers, counsel behind the scenes, man. Long hours of reading, long hours of breakdown, creating quizzes, man. Doing quizzes, watching videos, making videos. Brothers gotta be heavy laden all in this gospel. Read on.
And I will give you rest.
So the Lord's going to give rest to those that are heavy laden. So if you come home from work, what's the first thing you do, man? Right? You sit down, you say, ah. Right? If you've been laying on your ass all day, you get up to get something to drink, and you sit back down, it's not going to feel the same. You don't need no rest, man. The Lord's going to give rest to those souls. You understand? They got swollen ankles, bad backs, they voice going out. You understand? They spending long hours in this truth, man. Read on.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me.
Bro, you got to learn in your house, man. It said the Son of Man have not where to lay his head, man, paraphrasing. He was on the move so much that he said, I don't even have a place to lay my head, man. That's how brothers got to be in this thing, man. You got to be so heavy laden all times of the night, every what you doing, that you don't even have no place to damn have rest, man. And your rest is the kingdom of heaven. Read on.
Come. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me.
Right, all the persecution, right, getting spit upon, smote upon. And this is the life and evangelist of the prophet, man. And brothers got to fulfill that lot. Read.
For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
Right?
For my yoke is easy.
And the Lord said reading constantly is easy, man. Loving your brother, that's easy. Laboring on the highways and byways is easy. The Lord said it, man. The Lord is not a man that he should lie, man. Nor the Son of Man that he should repent. The Lord said, look, my yoke that I'm going to put upon you that you have to be heavy laden in is easy. Read.
And my burden is light.
Hey, the Lord said this light work, man. For all that you're going to get in this kingdom, all these damn slaves, these dominion, everything the Lord going to give you, he said this light work what you're doing right now. You got it, King. Come on, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and 3, man. 2 Corinthians 6 and 3. So we building up where the brothers left off, man. Right. Didn't our forefathers do that? Didn't Zerubbabel and Joshua go back to Jerusalem and build the foundation? Right? Didn't that happen in 539 BC? They went down there, 538. Who went after them, man? Did they just stop? No, Ezra went later, man. 457 BC. Who went after that? Nehemiah. 444 BC. And they all what? Building upon a foundation. So that's how we are, man. The brothers established a lesson. We're going to do the same thing in the spirit and build on their foundation, man. They laid the foundation, they went into it. Guess what? We added more stones, man. Right? So let's read that 2 Corinthians 6 and 3.
Come on. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
So you can't offend anything, man. You don't want to blame the ministry, man. You represent Yahweh Shah wherever you at, man. I don't give a damn if you're at the basketball court, or you at the grocery store, or you at the bank, or you on the highways and byways. You always represent the Most High, man. You can get fired from your worldly job if you make a post on social media, man. That's how much they care about their name and their corporation, man. They might even tell you to delete your social media. If you got one picture, you drunk at the bar, they're going to pull it up and say, hey, look, you're fired. You're going to get that knock slot on your cubicle. They're going to say, come with me. They're going to give you a brown box, and you know what that means. You packing up your stuff, your son, pictures, baseball pictures, and his trophies, and your calendar, your box. And guess what? People say, well, where are you going? I got fired. Right? And they're going to say, why? Oh, I don't want to talk about it. But they're going to talk about it when you leave. Everybody's going to talk about it. Just like everybody knows how you fell out the truth, man. Everybody knows that you wasn't studying, man. You was trying to leave camp early. Now all you do is work out. Now you can't stop working out. With a blunt. The Lord is not dealing with that spirit, man. So giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed. Go on.
But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of Yahweh in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distress.
These are the fruits of your labor that you have to have as a laborer, man. You have to approve yourself, man. Man, you have to live up to this thing. These are the things that you should be having on your resume as a minister of the Most High. Right? Go on.
In stripes.
And what?
In stripes.
And you might get beat up as a laborer, man. It's not sweet out there on the highways and byways. Last time I checked, they hate us out there, man. Last time I checked, we might get killed out there today, man. We might get arrested. They might jump us. You might have dealt with a scoffer. He might come back and say, yeah, that was you who called my damn son a homosexual. Right? And then he might come, people come back masked up in Baltimore. They come with that thing on them. They'll pull you to the side, want to fight you, stab you. They've been through all of that, man. Guess what Paul said of the Jews? I received 39, 5 times I received 39 stripes save one. Right? Meaning he was getting beat. He was getting whipped, man. But Jake, I can't go out there because I don't have life insurance. Or my wife said, bring your helmet and your knee pads out, your elbow pads, in case you fall. Right? That's off, man. Right? I don't have my PPE on. I don't have my gloves and my steel toe boots. I can't go out there and do work. Right? The Lord ain't dealing with that spirit, man. Go on.
In imprisonment.
In what?
In imprisonment.
Hey, Paul got locked up, man. You gotta get prepared to get locked up in this thing. And they might not let you out. You might still be there to the day of the Lord. Right? Go on.
In tumult.
A tumult is what? An uproar, a riot. They might as well just say a riot, man. I know brothers experience that teaching, man. All hell break loose, man. Read on.
In labors.
In what?
In labors.
Lawfulness.
In labors.
In labors. Read.
In watchings.
In watchings.
In fastings.
Everybody got to say, hold on, am I ready for all of this, man? Am I ready for that? Slack your argument. Right? Are we ready for fasting? Am I ready for watching? Am I ready for the labors? Go on.
By pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love unfeigned,
Read.
by the word of truth, by the power of Yahweh, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the
You
left.
got to get armed up in this thing. Read.
Come on. By honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true.
You got to be ready for that. Read that again.
Come on. By honor and dishonor.
Meaning you, being in this truth as a laborer, you might get honor from your brother, but you got to be prepared for the dishonor of the world. Being hated. Read on.
By evil report and good report.
Yeah, they give you an evil report. The world will, man. You're in a Southern Poverty Law Center. You're a black hate group. You're a domestic terrorist. They want to confiscate your Bible. They want to kick you off the streets. They want to lock you up. That's the evil report, but you also may get a good report from your brothers, man. Read.
As deceivers and yet true.
They think we're deceivers out there. Right? You got to be prepared. You're a deceiver. You're a liar. Right? A lot of brothers, they don't want to go out there because how people look at them, man. I don't want my auntie to see me out there. I'm auntie's boy. I don't want her to see me out there like that. I'll never be able to get that sweet potato pie when she made it. And then, the Lord not dealing with that, man. Look at that with my auntie out there, man. Hey, I get on my auntie, man. My auntie come out with a sim. Hey, guess what? You going off, man. Hey, you going off. And we gonna get on them, man. Rather you my auntie, my damn whatever, man. And I get on this brother, man. He'll get on me, and I get on him. You see that? And God get on us, and we'll get on anybody, man. 'Cause that's the work of the Lord. And we're going to get in ourselves first and foremost. I got one more real quick. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Right, I got one more real quick before I pass it to the brother. 4:9.
1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 9. For I think that Yahweh have set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
Yeah, that word spectacle in the Greek is what? Anybody know? Theater. That's what it means. Right? So we're like stage performers out there, huh? But that's how people look at us. Come up eating popcorn. What are you talking about? Yeah, Edomites come up. Are you guys gonna dance or what? Get the show started. You sit up blowing the trumpet. Come on, hurry up. They clapping their hands. Little Edomites coming up, waving. We're like a spectacle out there, man. Right? They've never seen men out there, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American men out there in order, man. And anytime Jake is in order, he's in order doing a stage performance, man. Doing the damn thing, man. Damn. That's what Jake do when they in order, man. The damn temptations, that's what they expect. Because the temptation, they in order. Right? The Delphonics. When we out there, they're not expecting us to be in order prophesying your destruction. Prophesying downfall. Resurrecting the dry bones, man. They never seen that. So we like a spectacle to the world, even to the angels. Michael is like, how are these guys doing this, man? Uriel, Raphael, right? Your angel of protection, this guy's on fire, man. Even the angels are looking at you like, what is going on, man? And the Lord tell you, I believe in the book of Hebrews, that even when you have the Holy Spirit, it says there's things that angels desire to look into, man. Right? So you're a spectacle to the angels. Right? Satan is an angel. I can't get this guy to fall out, man. Sending a woman his way, drugs, his old friends. How is he still out here? Right? You're a spectacle to angels and to men. You got to be ready for that. Read on.
Come. Right? Verse
10.
number 10. We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
Yeah, people behind the keyboard, they got it made. They honorable, you understand? They're what else? They're wise, they're strong. Somebody might have a coffee mug in their hand right now. They robe on, spinning around in their chair, right? Pausing the video. Yeah, man, with the Snuggie on. He's got, I don't want to watch no more. Kind of change the channel, turn on sports, right? And we busy being despised, man. They strong, you got the AC on it, and we hot out to 95 degrees. So Paul is just letting you know that the church of Corinth, they had it made while Paul and the apostles was catching hell. Read on.
Come. Verse number 11. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst.
Yeah, Paul writing a letter, his damn, he's starving to death right now, man. Damn, fainting, writing the epistle. Damn, even right now, I'm starving, yo. And he said, reading a letter. What's Paul talking about? Right? You know the church of Corinth was wicked, man. I don't have to read everything that they was going on for him. You heard this guy popped his mother, and then you don't want to get this. And they thought Paul was stealing money. And they didn't like Paul like that, man. So Paul sitting there starving, dying, laboring. I don't know about this letter. You read it. Right? Go on. Right.
Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place.
Like his brother went into.
And labor.
And what?
And labor.
And what?
And labor.
And what?
And labor.
Read.
Working with our own hands.
No, we benefit off of other men.
Working with our own
I'll
hands.
let a riot teach for 10 hours and I'll drink a Capri Sun.
Working with our own
I'll
hands.
let the bar read all damn day and I'll be busy looking at clouds.
Working with our own
We
hands.
gotta work with our own hands in this thing, man. Right? You gotta labor, man. You should want your feet to hurt at the end of camp, man. You should want your throat to be sore, man. You should want to be damn like, yeah, I can't even damn move, man. You should want that labor with your own. And the Lord said the sleep of a laboring man is what? It's sweet, man. You know? You got it, King. You can get the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 4. So like the brother going into, man, we gotta labor. And brothers not putting their damn hands to the plow and doing the work, you might not make it, man. The Lord gave you the understanding, the oil, the gold, the rubies, all of this knowledge. If you don't do nothing with it, man, the Lord's going to destroy you, man. Bring that out, Ken.
2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 4.
Start at verse 2.
Verse 2. Receive us. We have wronged no man.
No, we were hypocrites.
We have wronged no man.
Read.
We have corrupted no man. We have defrauded no man.
So we got to be blameless in this truth, man. We can't defraud nobody. We got to be blameless. We got to do the work of the Lord. Read on.
I speak not this to condemn you, for I have said before, that ye are in our hearts to die and live with you. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my glorifying of you. I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulations.
So we got to be exceedingly joyful in all our tribulations. Like the brother going into, man, your back might hurt. That shouldn't have you to stop going to camp. Your ankles are swollen. Hey, brothers got bad backs, man. Brothers got problems. Ankles swollen, voice going out. Damn, hip bone out of place, man. Damn, hand hurt from shaking the hand. Hey, literally the Lord said, I am exceedingly joyful in all our tribulations, man. You got to count that as an honor, man. You know what? In the world, man, brothers do this, they do that. Yeah, I did that. That's their little stripes. And when your back hurt, that's your stripe, man. When your ankle hurt, that's your stripe. When your voice going out, that's your stripe, man. When the police get called, that's your stripe, man. You should cause an uproar and all hell in every city, man. These are your stripes, man, in the world. You understand? You know?
Verse 5. For when we were come into Macedonia, our flesh had no rest.
No, I took 5 naps.
Our flesh had no rest.
What about 1,000?
Our flesh had no rest.
They said their flesh had no rest, man. There wasn't no damn vacation. Man, give me Acts chapter 20 and verse 3. They literally go on the damn coast, the coast. Within 3 precepts, they done went to about damn 9 countries, man. That's how on fire they were doing the work of the Lord. It said literally, our flesh had no rest, man. And that's how I got to be in this thing, man. Brothers got to be ready. And the more you labor, I'm speaking to all the real brothers in the room that really want the kingdom. The more you labor, the more you want to get the hell up out of this place, man. The more relaxed you are, the more it ain't that bad. Maybe it ain't that bad for real. I mean, I don't have a shock on my physical neck. Maybe I got a raise in my job if I be a good boy. No, we want to get the hell up out of here, man. The more you labor, the more you gonna want to get the hell up out of here, man. You're gonna be tired in body and in spirit, and you're gonna be vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Bring that up, King.
The book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 3.
Right?
And there abode 3 months. And when the Jews laid wait for him, as he was about to sail into Syria, he proposed to return through Macedonia.
You got Syria, Macedonia, read.
And there accompanied him to Asia, Sopater of Berea, and of the Thessalonians, Atricius,
right,
and Secundus, and Gaius of Derbe, and Timotheus, and of Asia, Tychus, and Trophimus.
Read.
These going before tarried for us at Troas.
You see that? All of them different places, they doing the work of the Lord, man. They not stopping. They with the real apostles, the real men that want to do the work, man. Right? And for them that don't want, man, just stay at home, man. Get out the way. Go back to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7. And start at verse 5 where you left off that camp.
2 Corinthians 7 and 5.
Right?
For when we were coming to Macedonia, our flesh had no rest. But we being troubled on every side, without we're fighting.
Right, and that happens in the highways and byways, man. Amen. Fighting's happen. You got a heathen and they get an uproar. Your own people might want to stab you. And we had guns pulled on us before, man. Right? And we love that, man. These guys are sick. No, we love that, man. Put a damn gun on the servants of the Lord, man. Smite us like Jeremiah the 20th chapter. Do the things that are written from old, man, so we can fulfill the lots of the prophets back on the earth, man. Humbly speaking.
Within were fears. Nevertheless, Yahweh that comforted those.
Well, he left us out there.
Yahweh that comforted those.
And he's going to comfort those
that are cast down, comfort us by the coming of Titus.
So no matter what happened on the highways and byways doing the work of the Lord, brothers got to be ready to die in this thing, man. You got to ask yourself, do I want to die for the Lord? He died for me. Or do I want to have a comfortable ride to the kingdom? throwing a long carpet. This is not coming to America, man. This is not the movies. This is real life. They had schools in the ancient world just like now, man. Paul and them was teaching the words, you understand? To the mighty men of old. We fulfilling all of these same things. Don't think we're going to get shunned upon. We're going to have fighting. We're going to have railings. Our voice going to go out. We're going to be shaking the hand. We're going to be prophesying against the nations. We're going to be doing all this work. We're going to be doing everything. But when it comes down to persecution, that you just got a free ride in this thing.
Right.
It's not going to happen like that, man. Brothers got to be apt and mentally prepared to die for the Lord.
That's right.
Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 4 and 19. All right, Nehemiah.
Look at Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse number 19.
Here we go.
And I said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large.
Now, it's easy.
The work is great and large.
And this work is great and large, man. Read.
And we are separated upon the wall one third from another.
And this is literal. The wall of Jerusalem that they were rebuilding is not a small wall, man. It's an elevated wall. It takes a lot of labor, a lot of time, and they were scattered abroad. But what did they have to do? Gather together, man. To build what? To build the wall. So that's what we have to do in the last days, man. We're building a wall. His work is great and large, man. I mean, Israel is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You got Israelites in Scotland, man. They said, I'm down to do the work. You got Israelites in China. He said, we down to do the work, man. All over the earth is great and large. This is the largest construction project in human civilization, man. People want to talk about the Great Wall of China and, well, how long did it take to build the Sears Tower? And we're not dealing with that, man.
Right.
Oh, we got the 7 ancient wonders of the world, the pyramids in Egypt, and then the Colossus of Rhodes. No, this is the mega wonder of the world right here, man. Right, read on.
In what place, therefore, ye hear the sound of the trumpet, resort ye thither unto us, our God shall fight for us.
And whatever time, what's the modern day trumpet? Anybody know? Well, in this spiritual context, it's the word, right? Jeremiah chapter 6, right? The Lord said, I sent you the trumpet, but you did not hearken, right? Jeremiah 6 and 16 on down, right? So whenever all people hear this word, they got to resort and come together, man. So we can do the work. Read on.
Verse 21. So we labored in the work.
So we did what?
So we labored in the work.
So we labored in the work. Why do all these precepts say labor? Right? Go on.
And half of them held spears, so like it held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared.
Yeah, that's over 15 hours. Right? Like 6 a.m. to around maybe 2 in the morning. Brothers can't post for 10 minutes. Oh, my feet hurt. Can't have no flyers. Right? I miss my wife. Yeah, the brother, like I said, on the Day of Atonement, on the chat, on the keyboard, I'm hungry. When is this going to be over? I'm bored. But hey, it's mine now. You're not going to make it, man. These brothers was holding posts from the morning and labor from the morning till the stars appeared. How many brothers ready to hold cap from 7 in the morning to 2 in the morning? That's a long cap, man. Brothers can't even hold cap from 5 to 9. And you show up late. And you don't even really want to be there. Whole time you really don't want to be there. You kind of just showed up so nobody say nothing about you.
Trying to leave early.
Yeah, try and leave early, man. To go be in a music video. We have brothers like that. Hey, when this cat won't be over? Why? And we had a brother who never stopped telling his story. He left camp early to do what? Smoke some PCP. Now he told us, hold on, he was damn near crying. I got choked with my wife. I think something happened to my wife. I said, go ahead, take care of it. He called us. I think he called you, or he called somebody. He called one of y'all. I'm gonna call Malachi. He called Malachi at damn like 1 in the morning. They called me on 3-way and said, yeah, I got a lie, I went off. I said, what do you mean? You know, how's the family doing? Oh, they all right. Well, I thought you said that they was hemmed up. No, what's going on? I smoke PCP. I'm like, come on, brother, man. You know? So the Lord not dealing with that spirit, man. Let's read on. Damn, leaving the smoke PCP.
Right, verse 22. Likewise, at the same time, said I unto the people, let every one with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that in the night they may go, they may pay guard to us and labor on the day.
Damn, read that again.
Come. Likewise, at the same time said I unto the people, let every one with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that in the night they may be a guard to us and labor on the day.
They was up, they ain't getting no sleep, huh?
Right.
At night, they gotta stay up all night and watch their brothers back. And when the sun come up, they gotta labor, man. And they lifting heavy bricks and making bricks, and this is all day. No sleep, no rest, man. Why? Because they got work to do, man. They got a temple to build, man. They got to magnify the name of the Lord, man. And we're no better than our forefathers, man. But we got to get to this level, man. We got to get to the level where we're willing to damn just drop dead. Your last precept, just drop dead, man. Brother, pick you up, give you a burial, and the next man still out there teaching, man. Go on.
Come. So neither I nor my brethren,
Lord say,
neither I nor my brethren,
right?
nor my servants, nor the men of the guard which followed me, none of us put off our clothes.
What the Lord say?
None of us put off our clothes.
Go on.
Saving that every one put them off for
They
washing.
ain't even changed their clothes.
Right.
Kind of just did a little burn back. Got to do the work. Kept putting on the brick. Kind of scrub. One brother scrubbing, and he put the brick with one hand, and he's scrubbing with the other hand. He got a spear kind of on his back, and they laboring out there, man. They couldn't even change. I can't go to camp. We got brothers that tell us, "Oh, I gotta hurry up and wash up and take a shower before I go to camp. I don't want to go to camp stinking and smelling dirty." Where is that at in the Bible, man? There's been times when brothers got dirty jobs, show up to camp, and your clothes are dirty, man. After work, you work a damn 9 to 5 in a dirty job, dirty mud and sand all in your clothes, and you still got to show up ready to do the work. That's what these brothers were, man. They said nobody changed their clothes. They was all on one accord. Everybody was focused. Everybody was dialed in. Everybody knew they had a mission, and it could not be broken. No heathen could stop them. No letters, no crafty counsel, not their own flesh. They had a mind fixed to doing the work, man. And they got it done. But Shema Mashak Yahushua.
Shalom, Salaki for the tardiness. Can you go to Sirach chapter 38 and start at verse 31? Right? So when we out on these highways and byways, man, we're laboring to bring forth the kingdom of heaven, man. We're laboring to raise up the mighty men who don't know that they Israel, man. Right? Everybody's got to put their hand forth to this truth, man. Any and everything you do, you got to magnify the name of the Lord. You got to be an example to Israel. Right? You got to show Israel what it means to truly walk in the light. Right? Bring that up, Babusha.
Come. Sirach chapter 38 and verse 31. Come. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work.
Right, so you gotta trust in your work, man. You gotta lay down your brick for the kingdom of heaven, man. Every brother in here wants to have servants. Every brother in here wants to live for eternity, man. So you gotta trust in your works, man. You gotta wake up and look in that mirror and say, am I doing enough to get the kingdom of heaven? Right. Am I doing enough to be saved out of Babylon the Great, man? And if you're not, you gotta double into that double, man. You can't sit here and think that the Lord is just looking at you because you know you Israel. Now you got a gateway to the kingdom, man. You got to trust in the works of your hand. Meaning fasting, doing your videos, counseling, answering DMs, right? When a brother asks you a question, you got to be apt to teach, man. Every brother in here is in here for knowledge, man. Trust in the works, man. You got to labor, man. You got to sit down and read and get to understand it, man. Walk towards it without wisdom. Right, let me get Colossians 4 and 5, Bible Michelle. We're going to come back to that. Right, you got to walk towards them without wisdom, man. And the only way you can do that is being an example with your works, man. Works is very important in this truth, man. Without the works, the foundation of the kingdom wouldn't have been laid. Right, without the works, they wouldn't have built the wall up, man. And like any old body coming there, man. Right? We're the first defense to those who are just coming into the truth, man. We guide them to the proper understanding of this truth, man. You're a defense, man, so that your brothers and sisters don't fall to false doctrine. Right, let me get that Bible.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time.
Read that one more time.
Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time.
So every man in here is commanded to walk in wisdom, man. Not in niggerdom, not being a pimp, a gangster. You have to walk in wisdom. And what's wisdom? These scriptures right here, man. Right. This is the ins and outs on how to get you into the kingdom. How to be a righteous man, how to raise your household up. Right? How to get your wife in order. How to get your children in order. How to get your damn self in order, man. Keep going, Bobby Shaw.
Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt.
So everything you do, you got to speak as an oracle of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Not speaking of your own belly. That's the works, man. Right? Speaking in dark parables. So that the next brother next to you got to think about, well, what's that precept? Right? These are the works that we got to do, man. We're laying down that spiritual foundation of the temple, man. And I'm not trying to change my garment. I want my garment pure and white, as all y'all brothers should. Con?
Let's go to Hebrews chapter 4, and let's go to verse 8. I just read verse 7.
Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 7. Again, he limited a certain day, saying, and David
In the Psalms,
today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts.
so everything we bringing out, today you got to hear this voice, man. We're not doing this lesson for fun. Right? We're not doing this for fun. And we love doing it, but this is not something of folly, man. Today, every brother in here, every man of the Lord, you have to hear this voice and harden not your heart, man. All the precepts you're writing down, go back over them. Examine yourself, man. Ask yourself, what are you doing for the ministry, man? You brothers in Detroit, what are you doing to build up the body in Detroit, man? Are you a brother that never comes around? Are you a brother, you got to damn fight a brother to get him to come to the school and clean up, man? Well, do something, man. You're always making excuses. Right? You probably came, this is your first time. If this is your first time at the school and you've been in the camp in Detroit, shame on you, man. Oh, this is my first time. It looked nice, man. You've been in the damn camp for damn a year, man. What are you talking about? So you have to ask yourself, right? You got brothers in Houston here, brothers from Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Jersey, Philly. Ask yourself in your respective body, what am I doing to build up our congregation, man? Right? What am I providing? What am I bringing to the table like y'all down in the Kabash and Malachi was going to, man? Am I showing up empty? Am I just showing up for the feast days to get drunk? We had a brother like that, man. All right? There's always a story, man. We had a brother, he didn't labor. He fall asleep in the class. He ducking off, might be getting high in the bathroom. Lord knows. Taking selfies in a lesson like this. Right? We go back to the school for the men that did the work to kind of, eat, drink, and be merry as much as we can. And the brother kind of sneak in, kind of show up. Well, everybody opened the door. Now, we can't say, just go home. We just show the brother love. Come on, he come to the school. Guess what he did? Got drunk, ate all the food, and talked a lot of shit. That's all he did, man. He kept looking for a strong drink, eating all of the food. Brothers come in from labor with the food that he eating it all, got his feet up, freestyling, put on the instrumentals, right? So the Lord not dealing with that, man.
Right.
Don't be the brother that just show up to get drunk, man. And he told me he was still popping the nations and smoking weed. And the brother said, why do y'all call me Yahushua? I want to call him Jesus Christ. I kind of rebuked the brother, and after he said, well, you know what? Jesus Christ brought me to y'all, and he has taught me the truth, so I'm going to call him Jesus Christ. You see that? You see that? Do you think the brother's on the highways and byways right now? No, man. He's somewhere riding his bike, going off, man. Right. So let's bring you ride the bike, past the harbor, man. You ride the bike, you know what I'm saying, and going off. It's a little more than that, King. Oh, go ahead.
You don't even stop to salute the brothers no more, man.
That's right. You see that? Like the brother says, as soon as you get it, the Most High can take it away, man. Right? Let's go on.
Verse 8. For if Yahweh Shai had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day?
Yeah, meaning if this was your rest, there would be no prophecies about the kingdom. Go on.
There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God.
Yeah, you have a rest coming to you. You have eternal life. You have a day, a time period coming where you're not going to work. You don't have to labor. You don't have to go out on the highways and byways. You don't have to deal with the stress of your job, the stress of their financial woes, your family. The rest is coming. But it's not going to come easy. Read on.
For he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as Yahweh did from his.
Yeah, that's what the Sabbath is about prophetically, man. We have a true Sabbath coming to us, man. Right now it's the Sabbath, but you have a prophetic Sabbath coming where you're going to cease from your works forever, man. Right? For 7 years, if you got ears to hear, man. That's how long your Sabbath is going to be, and you're going to cease from your same works the same way that the Most High did from his. Because then the Most High labored. Right? 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years. And he ceased. We're laboring, and we're going to cease. And our rest. Read on.
Verse 11. Let us labor.
Let us what?
Let us labor.
It's going to come easy.
Let us labor.
It's going to be given.
Let us labor.
Let us what?
Let us labor.
Right?
Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief.
See that? You got to labor to get this rest, man. Like in the world, man. You might have vacation hours, but you got to kind of work a certain amount of hours to gain that vacation, man. Esau don't just give you a month of vacation. He even say, look, you got to put in, you get 1 vacation hour for every year you're here. Right? You got to work down 5 years to get 5 vacation hours. And it might get denied. Right? You might not ever get it, but you got to labor to build them hours up, huh? That sick time, that PTO. You brothers know what I'm talking about. Right? You're getting mad when I'm talking about it, man. Right? So this is the same thing of the Lord, man. You have to labor and put in hours of work, of fasting, of praying, of being diligent in order to enter into that rest. Everybody's not going to enter into that rest because they really don't believe. Just like who? Our fathers that came out of the wilderness. Right? Were they allowed to enter into their rest? No. Because they didn't believe, man. After the Lord showed them the marvelous signs. After the Lord showed them the Red Sea being split. Manna from heaven. The water made sweet with the wood. Water out of the rock. You understand? Them being healed of fiery serpents. The earth opened up, huh? Surely man would believe. But they all died in the wilderness. Save Caleb and who? Joshua, man. Only 2 people made it. Right? Let me get one more quick precept before you get yours. Real quick. Jude 1 and 5. Real quick, Salaki King. Quick precept.
Right. So book of Jude, chapter 1, and verse number 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
See that? The Lord might bring you to this truth, but if you really don't believe, you're going to be destroyed, man. You would think the Most High delivered everybody out of Egypt, He just want to bring them to the promised land. Nah, man, it don't work like that. The Lord will bring you out of darkness into light to prove you, and if you don't go through that test, you're not going to enter into that rest. So the Lord brought you out of the world. But are you going to endure? He might destroy you because you really don't believe in this thing. Huh? Same thing about fathers in Egypt. You got it. You can get the book of 2 Maccabees, right? Chapter 2 and verse 26. So brothers got to labor in this thing, man. That's what this whole thing is about, man. Laboring and magnifying the name of the Lord. Bring that up.
2 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse number 26.
Right?
Therefore to us that have taken upon us this painful labor.
Man, this thing should be painful, man. You shouldn't just be coming to camp skipping and laughing and joking and damn drinking all the wine and cracking all the damn jokes, man. Hey, this is war, man. When you go out there, this is literally spiritual war, man. You can die out there, right? All hell can break loose, right? This is a painful thing. Read.
Look, therefore, to us that have taken upon us this painful labor and abridging, it was not easy.
What the Lord say?
It was not easy.
What the Lord say?
It was not easy.
So if you really doing the work, it's not easy, man. Long hours of counsel, reading, long hours of trying to stay and fight the spiritual demon Satan, man. Nobody's your house shot. Nobody's on fire 24/7. You may wake up tired from your damn 12-hour shift, man. Your damn rib kind of talking out of damn neck, right? Your kids running amok, right? Your damn mortgage coming, man. You got problems in this life, man. But it's not easy and you gotta fight, man. Isn't the Lord a man of war, man? So even on a spiritual level, the Lord is gonna plague you and you gotta fight, man. Because we soldiers of Yahushua. You understand? The Lord's a man of war. So every single day you gonna have to fight. You got to show the Lord every day you work being in His truth, even though we're nothing but dust and ashes. We don't come.
But a matter of sweat and watch.
It said it was a matter of sweat and watching, man. So you gotta be sweating in this thing, man. And what happens when you sweat? You hot. You damn back hurt. You doing the work, man, when you sweat. And you gotta always watch. Don't be that brother that don't know what the hell is going on. Hey, brother, you told me, damn, there's trouble in Haiti? There's an earthquake just happened? Damn, brother, where was I? Brother, you was out the truth somewhere, brother, sifting away, brother. That's where you was, for real, for real. The Lord said all throughout the scriptures to watch. Brothers gotta be watching these prophecies, man. That'll jack you up in the spirit every single day, seeing all hell breaking loose. How could you not be in the spirit, seeing it was just an earthquake, just wildfires, people just getting shot, World War III on the rise? Every time I turn around, China is in a damn uproar against the U.S., man. All hell was about to break loose, brothers. And brothers got to be on fire. We right at the end. You know?
Right, verse 27.
Right?
Even as it is no ease unto him that prepareth a banquet.
Right, so if you prepare a banquet, it's not going to be easy. You got to get the chairs, you got to get the table, you got to get the food, you got to make sure everything is in order. You might get a damn band, a damn drum set, saxophone, damn harp. You got to get all of this together, man. You can't just throw a banquet together and show up at auntie's house at 7 o'clock and bring some food. Right. That's a nigga fest, man. We're talking about a banquet. You understand? When we building literally the spiritual temple, we got to take our time in this thing, and every single brick needs to be put forth with an effort. You know?
And seeketh the benefit of others. Yet for the pleasuring of many will we undertake gladly this great pain.
And the Lord chose everybody in this room to be a soldier, man. To put forth the effort to make your body a living sacrifice to wake up the other brothers out there, man. Every brother in this room is a mighty man of the Lord, man. You wouldn't be in here if you wasn't, man. Brothers would be smoking weed right now, right, with Keisha, on the internet, trying to be something they not, trying to be famous. The Lord has chosen every brother in this room, man. Brothers got to take that to heart. Every time you feeling low in the spirit, hey, the Lord chose me. I'm still in this thing. I still know His name. You know how many people that know they are Israelites that call the name of the Lord Jehovah? Ashaya, Ashika, Ashika. Like all these damn magician names, man. I think about the damn magicians when they say these names, man. Yahweh, that's the Lord's name, man. You understand? And we know it, man. Such a blessing, man. Right, so every brother got to take on this great pain, right, of doing the work of the Lord, man. I want to get one more. Give me Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
Right, so it's levels in this thing, man. It's levels in this thing. It's beautiful to have a congregation, the brotherhood, to know the Lord's true name, to literally be able to labor, know the precepts, remember them. Right? Bring that out, Kim.
Ephesians chapter 2 verse 20.
Right?
And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets.
Right, so you got Yahushua, right? And then after that, what you got? Read it again.
And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets.
Right, so Yahushua is the chief foundation from old. Then you got the apostles, you got the prophets. They've been doing the work, you understand, from the ancient world. Now we're getting to the last bit of the rebuilding of the temple, man. We're literally at the top of it, man. The brothers got to take heed to that. We're not at the beginning, right? We're now, okay, I can take some time off, I can kind of go. I seen a brother, I made a video, and under the video, his caption said, I hope I have time to take a break I'm going to go in the world, and I'm going to come back where all hell start breaking loose. He said, I'm tired of waiting, man. That's what this brother said, man. I should not lie. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to come back in the truth where all hell start breaking loose. Well, that brother's not going to make it, man. He's going to be destroyed. You know?
Shalaki, right? You also got certain brothers, right, that was in the body, man. Hey, mighty readers, mighty teachers, man. Hey, let's say, hey, what precept says that I got to come to camp and do the work, man? Hey, that brother that was once mighty, man, once powerful. Hey, now that brother is back in the world, man. Hey, doing, hey, God knows what, man. All right. Right, the book of Ephesians, chapter 2 and verse number 20. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, right? In whom all the building thickly framed together groweth unto an holy temple.
It said groweth unto a holy temple, man. And that's what we building in these last days, man. Brothers, every single time you wax and faint, right, call a brother, man. Reach out, fast, pray, man. We at the top of this thing. Don't start letting your bricks start to crumble, get dust and decay in the last seconds, man. You know?
In the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of Yahweh.
No, this happened for no reason.
In whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of Yahweh through the Spirit.
And we're chosen, man. Brothers, never forget that, man. Every single time you wax and faint, lift your head up, man, and pray. Call the brother. Literally do everything you can to stay in this truth. We at the end, man.
God, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, and we can start at verse 4. Right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 4. I'm going to let me back on what the brother was saying, man. We at the end, man. With us being at the end, you got to be ready for persecution. Right, you got to be ready for your family members to betray you. You got to be ready for any damn thing to happen, man. But you got to stand bold as a righteous man in this truth. All right, let's get Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 4.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse number 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men.
Right, even though you catching hell in these last days, man, this truth isn't a cakewalk, man. Right, it ain't playing 2K on rookie mode, man. Right, this is tough, man. Being in this truth is tough, man. Right? You know it's hard being a so-called black Hispanic perfect, man. Right, this ain't no cakewalk, man. Even though it looks like you punished in the sight of men,
Yet is there hope for immortality.
our hope is in your how about Shem Yahweh Shai that we're going to be delivered, man. Our hope is that we're going to be reigning over the nations, man. Right? We're not in here for no reason, man. We're not keeping the Sabbath for no reward. We're not showing brotherly love for no reward, man. We know something's at the end of this. Right? Keep going, King.
And having been a little chastised.
A what?
A little chastised.
The Lord said this is nothing, man. This is little. The hell that you catching right now is not a damn thing. Right? Man, imagine the next man next to you going through something 100 times worse, man. Stop complaining and gird your loins up, man. Be men in this truth, man.
And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself.
How do you do it?
As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering.
So when you get in tried, it's the Lord trying your spirit to see up. So the Lord will fight for you. Right? You're going to be a burnt offering, man. The Lord loves that, man. Right? Glorious is going to be the fruit if you laboring, man. Glorious is going to be the fruit if you coming in and day out. Serving the Lord, man. Reaching out to brothers if you fall. Because every single one of us in here falls short, man. You'd be a liar if you say you don't, man. But it's going to be glorious for you.
Right?
The book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse number 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his works shall be.
To do what?
Slacken. And my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be.
According as what?
According as his work shall be.
According as what?
According as his work shall be.
The Lord's coming like a thief in the night, man. Right now, all hell could break loose, man. Now what brother's going to do? Oh, man, I should have went to camp that time, man. Damn, I should have read that chapter, man. Oh, man, I should have sat down and binge watched so-and-so. I should have damn fasted that day. Ain't no woulda, shoulda, couldas in Jacob's trouble, man. That door is closed. And whatever you put out, you got to deal with it, man. You see that? Every man in this room, even us, right? We're going to be rewarded according to our works, man. If you were slothful, lukewarm, lazy, not taking this thing serious, you're not going to make it, man. A lot of people want to die with their fringes on, man. And the beard on their face, and the mitre on, and the border of blue. Why? Because they know that they Israel, and they dress the part, but inwardly, they going to hell off, man. Every man's going to be judged according to his work, man. So ask yourself, what work are you doing for your Yahweh? What work are you doing for your particular camp and congregation? And what are you doing for your household and for your body to build yourself up as a man of the Lord in the last days? Con? With that, we're going to close up. Shalom.
Shalom.